Hello, friends. Now, we are well aware of what is a not for profit concern and what is the difference between trading concern and not for profit concern. We have already discussed this point in the previous lecture or video, and you know that very well. Now, let's see what is the need for maintaining books of accounts for a not for profit concern and why the final accounts are required to be prepared of such concerns which are not behind profit. Some students might have a doubt in their mind about as the not for profit concerns are not behind any profit. Their objective is to serve its members. These are service oriented organizations. So, what is the need of preparation of final accounts and what we are supposed to know by preparing these accounts? What is the purpose of preparing the final accounts of such concerns which are not actually behind profit? And see, not for profit concerns are not engaged in trading activities. Mostly they deal with public money, means to finance their activities, they make use of the money which is collected from public in the form of subscription, donations, grants, government grants, and government assistance is nothing but indirectly public assistance, entrance fees, membership fees, etc. That amount is collected from public. They are using public money. These concerns are answerable to the society for such money collected and spent. Means they are collecting money from the public, and whether the money is being properly utilized or not, to get it confirmed, they are compelled by the law to prepare final accounts and to maintain proper books of accounts to keep proper record of their transactions. Therefore, they are asked to maintain the books of accounts and then prepare final accounts. Following are the reasons for maintaining books of accounts by a not for profit concern: to maintain proper control over monetary transactions. When a proper record of transactions is maintained, then we can review the transactions and thereby we can have proper control over the transactions being made by the organization. To know the sources of incomes and heads of expenditure, means when a proper record of the various receipts, incomes, and expenses is maintained, at a time we can easily see what are the sources of income of this concern, where from the income was generated, and where the income was utilized, spent, in which heads of expenditure where the amount was spent by the concern. Third reason is to comply with the provisions of laws. Its legal obligation. It is obligatory, it is mandatory for not for profit concerns to keep proper record of their activities, transactions by maintaining proper set of books of accounts. The law makes it compulsory from them. Not for profit concerns registered as charitable trust under Mumbai Public Trust Act. This act governs the not for profit concern. Which act? Mumbai Charitable Trust Act. And also a cooperative society registered under the Cooperative Society Act has to comply with the provisions of these acts regarding budget, audit of accounts, registers to be maintained, etc. So, where under which act the not for profit concern is registered, the registration, the act will compel that concern to maintain proper set of books of accounts as per specified in that act. The fourth reason is to know surplus deficit of the concern during a particular period. Obviously, each and every organization, maybe trading or not for profit organization, will be interested to know whether the income is more than expenditure or expenditure is more than income at a point of time after a certain period of time. Generally, after making business transactions for a year, any business concern, any concern will be interested to know its position, not only position, but its result of the activities it has conducted. The profit concern will be interested to know the profit made by it during a particular period of time, and not for profit concern will be interested to know whether it has surplus or it is having deficit. To know that, final accounts are prepared, and before that, proper set of books of accounts is maintained to get all the transactions made during that year properly recorded. To know the net worth of the concern as on a particular day, the balance sheet will enable us to know the net worth of the concern on a particular day, and it is the part of final accounts. To avoid malpractices and misappropriations of cash and assets. So, when a proper watch over the activities of the concern is established, when a proper check on the transactions made by the concern is set, then obviously malpractices, misappropriation of money, all such illegal things are controlled, because it puts a moral check on the people involved in it, and thereby the chances for such activities are reduced. These are the reasons why even a not for profit concern is required to maintain books of accounts and prepare final accounts at the end of that accounting year. Okay, now let's see the receipts and payments account. We have discussed that a not for profit concern doesn't prepare trial balance, but instead of preparing trial balance, it prepares receipts and payment account. So, what is this? What actually this account is? What is its nature? Let's try to understand it. The day to day transactions of a not for profit concern are recorded in a cash book, and then they are posted to ledger. So, to record its routine transactions, cash book is there where receipts and payments are recorded, and then from cash book the entries are posted to the respective ledger accounts. At the end of financial period, the cash book and ledger accounts are balanced, obviously, as we do it in case of profit concerns also. All the ledger accounts and the cash book, we know that cash book is as good as cash account, so all the accounts are balanced, and from these balances, not the trial balance, but receipts and payments account is prepared by the concern. So, it is the process is similar to the process adopted by profit concerns. Means profit concerns, what they do, they keep record of all their transactions in journal and subsidiary books. Then these transactions, I mean these entries, are posted to the respective ledger accounts. The ledger accounts are balanced at the end of each and every month, and at the end of the accounting year, we know that with the help of ledger account balances, trial balance is prepared, and on the basis of trial balance, final accounts are prepared. Here, what not for profit concerns do, they record all their transactions in the cash book, because most of the transactions of these concerns are on cash basis, because these concerns are not actually involved in trading activity, I mean buying and selling of goods. Therefore, chances of credit transactions are very little, isn't it? So all the transactions are recorded in cash book, and then these transactions are posted to the ledger account, and at the end of the accounting year, with the help of ledger account balances, what is prepared? Receipts and payment account is prepared. Why? Not for profit concerns. The receipt and payment account is a real account. Yes, receipt side, payment side. It is as good as cash book. Receipt side, payment side. And cash book is what? Actually a cash account. It serves the purpose of cash book as well as cash account. That is why cash account is real account. Therefore, receipt and payment account is also considered a real account. Credit transactions are not recorded in receipt and payment account, just like cash book, because cash transactions only are recorded in the cash book, and just like that, receipt and payment account, in the receipt and payment account we can't record credit transactions, because this account explains only the receipts of cash and payment of cash, I mean cash or through bank, isn't it? Receipt and payment account is a summary of cash and bank transactions for a particular period. Note it down. What is a receipt and payment account? It is a summary of cash and bank transactions for a particular period. Simply, we can say that receipt and payment account is a summary of cash transactions for a particular period. Summary of cash transactions. So, you know that cash transactions involve bank transactions, online transactions. I mean, when amount is paid through net banking, online banking, isn't it? That also considered cash transaction. So, in the broader sense, receipt and payment account is summary of cash transactions. All receipts are shown on debit side, that is called receipt side, and all payments are shown on credit side, that is the payment side. This account starts with opening cash and bank balance and closes with the closing cash and bank balance. Receipts. All receipts during a particular period are debited to receipt and payment account, irrespective of the year for which they are received, and irrespective of their nature, I mean whether these receipts are revenue receipts or capital receipts. Without having reference to that, all the receipts are recorded, all the receipts are shown on the debit side of receipt and payment account, and all the payments, I mean the payment may be a revenue expenditure or capital expenditure, it doesn't matter, it will be shown on payment side, credit side of receipt and payment account. And payments for the previous year or for the current year or for the next year, the payment may be concerned with any year, but it gets credited to receipt and payment account. It is shown on the payment side of receipt and payment account. So the main points to be remembered about receipt and payment account are receipt and payment account contains the information about the receipts and payments. The receipts and payments may be for the current year, maybe for the previous year, or maybe for the next year. Means the receipt and payments for the past, for the present, and for the future may be shown in the receipt and payment account. It is not concerned with only this year. The receipts made in this year, but maybe for previous year, current year, or for the next year, they will be shown in the receipt and payment account. The payments made this year, but the payment may be for the past, present, or future year. It will be shown on the payment side of receipt and payment account. Remember this point, very important. What is that? Receipt and payment account contains the information for the past, for the present, and also for the future year. Means for the previous, for the current, as well as for the next year. And why this information is important? Why this point is to be remembered? Because when we prepare income and expenditure account, that income and expenditure account is for the current year only. So we will have to take only useful information which is concerned with the current year from receipt and payment account, and it will be shown in the income and expenditure account. So while solving the problems, I will explain it. But you must keep in your mind that receipt and payment account gives us information about the previous year, current year, as well as for the next year. Means the payments and receipts for any period can be shown in the receipt and payment account. But these receipts and payments are made this year, but maybe for the any year, I mean previous, present, or future. This is very important point. That's why I am repeating it again and again. When you will go practical, then you will realize the importance of this sentence. Anyway, here the receipt and payment account and its format is shown. It is as good as cash account. Receipt side to all receipts, maybe revenue or capital receipt, maybe for previous year, current year, or next year. The same information you can see here. And also the payments, maybe revenue, expenditure, or maybe capital expenditure, made before previous year, current year, or next year. All that receipts and payments are shown in this account. Features of receipt and payment account. Receipt and payment account is a real account. Okay. Receipt and payment account is similar to cash book, summary of cash and bank transactions. That's right. It includes all types of receipts and payments, revenue receipt as well as a revenue expense, capital receipt as well as capital expenditure. Fourth feature is it records all receipts and payments made during a particular period. I mean, all the receipt and all the payments made this year, but it may be for previous, it may be for current, or it may be for next year. Fine, I won't repeat it again. Income receivable and amount payable are not recorded in this account. Income receivable means it is earned but not received. As it is not received, how can it be shown in the receipt and payment account? Only when it will be received, it will be shown. Amount payable means expense due but not paid. It's outstanding expense. As it is not paid, how can it be shown in that account? That is the account for cash transactions only. So the receivables, payables, dues cannot be shown in this account. Sixth, this account is a base to prepare final accounts of not-for-profit concern. This account shows opening and closing balances of cash and bank. Now, types of receipts. This is very important to understand the problem well and then to solve it successfully. So, first of all, let's try to understand what is capital receipt. All such receipts are non recurring in nature. Non recurring means non repetitive. Such receipts are not made again and again, they are not regular receipts and not forming a part of regular flow of income of a concern. Means such receipts are not generally made by the concern regularly, and such receipts are called capital receipts. So simply, non repetitive or irregular receipts are called, non recurring receipts are called capital receipts. Specific donation for building. Generally, such donation is not regularly received every year. Sometimes some people give donation, and that's fine. Sports tournaments means donations for building, donations for conducting sports tournaments, donations for library, donations for life membership fees. We can't say donations for life membership fees, but just life membership fees. Not each and every member is interested to be the member of our concern for his lifetime. So rarely such membership fees is received. Then sales proceeds of fixed asset. Generally, fixed assets are not sold by any business on regular basis. Everywhere, no business sells its fixed asset. When fixed asset is sold, then that receipt is capital receipt. Capital receipts are either added to capital fund or separately shown on liability side of balance sheet. Remember, capital receipts are shown on liability side. It the receipt may be added to capital fund or it may be shown separately depending upon the adjustment given in the problem. But remember, capital receipt is never shown as an income of that concern. Capital receipt is always shown in the balance sheet on liability side. Remember it. Then revenue receipts. All such receipts which are recurring in nature means regular receipts and represent regular flow of income of a concern are known as revenue receipts. Means which are regular in nature, which receipts are made again and again by the concern, which are recurring in nature, repetitive in nature, such receipts are called revenue receipts. Subscription, rent, locker rent, interest received are regular receipt. When you get pocket money from your father, that's your revenue receipt because every month you get pocket money for your routine expense. But when you get gift for your achievement in the exams, for your good performance in the exams, that gift is capital receipt because you are not supposed to get such gifts, such rewards every year. Such rewards are received by you only when you make such kind of performance, isn't it? You can see receipts, two types: revenue receipt, capital receipt. Yes, capital receipt is shown in the balance sheet and revenue receipt is shown in the income and expenditure account. Revenue receipt is income for the business and capital receipt is liability for the business. That's the point. All receipts are not income. Capital receipts are considered in a different manner. That is the point. Now, types of payments. When we pay means we are spending, and such expenditure may be capital expenditure or it may be revenue expenditure depending upon the case. Means what? When you are paying, when you are making expenditure and the benefit of which will be enjoyed over a long period of time, it is called capital expenditure. When we purchase a car, we are going to get benefit of it, service from that car, not for just a year, but more than 1 year. For a long period of time, we are going to use that asset, use that car. So that is capital expenditure. But when we purchase petrol for the car, the purchased petrol will get finished within a period of 1 year, within a very short period of time. So such expenditure is what? Revenue expenditure. Means the expenditure, the benefit of which is received for a long period of time, more than 1 year, that is called capital expenditure. And the expenditure, the benefit of which is enjoyed for a period but not more than 1 year, that expenditure is called revenue expenditure. Okay, here it is explained in a different way. Capital expenditure, these expenditures are non-recurring, non-repetitive. Such expenses are not made again and again. The benefit of such expenditure is likely to be received for a long period. These expenses are shown on the asset side in the balance sheet, and their balances are carried forward to the next accounting year. Yes, capital expenditure is asset for the business, and revenue expenditure is expense for the business. Revenue expenditure, these expenses are recurring in nature, repetitive in nature, regular expenses. These are made every year. The benefit of these expenses are enjoyed immediately in that current year only. That is called revenue expenditure. And in the 11th standard, we have studied that third kind of expenditure, deferred revenue expenditure. It is basically revenue expenditure, but sometimes it benefits like capital expenditure. Means advertisement is generally what? Revenue expenditure. But sometimes when we make advertisement, the benefit of that expense is enjoyed over a period more than 1 year. Means when advertisement is made for 3 years, then obviously in this year we have spent on advertisement, but the benefit of which will be enjoyed over a period of 3 years. So here, though advertisement is revenue expenditure basically, but here it is benefiting like capital expenditure. Such expenditure is called deferred revenue expenditure. See, revenue receipts are shown on credit side of income and expenditure account. Capital receipts are shown on liabilities side of balance sheet. About payments, revenue expenses are shown on debit side of income and expenditure account, and capital expenses are shown on balance sheet asset side. So the point is that the revenue items are dealt in income and expenditure account, and capital items are shown in the balance sheet, isn't it? Capital, balance sheet, capital expense, balance sheet. And when it is revenue item, income and expenditure account. Revenue item, income and expenditure account means revenue receipt, income and expenditure account, revenue expense, income and expenditure account. So revenue items find their place in income and expenditure account, and capital items find their place in the balance sheet. You will get a complete idea when we will prepare the final accounts of this concern. Here is the specimen of receipt and payment account. Different kinds of not-for-profit concerns are there, and their various receipts and various payments. I want to bring to your notice one thing, that here by mistake what happened, here receipts is printed by mistake. It should not be receipt, but it should be payments. The debit side is receipt side, as already we have discussed. This is correct. This is the receipt side. But here it should not be receipts, but actually it should be what? Payment side. Okay, you can see the different items. We are going to handle this account again and again in the problems. There you can get a clear idea about its nature. This is sufficient in this video. Thank you. Thank you very much.